The entire narrative as it unfolded around Rory McIlroy at the 2026 Masters, drawn straight from his own words, the champion's dinner details, the parking moment, the mindset shift, and the historic outcome. No summaries, no cuts, no shortcuts. This is the complete picture from Magnolia Lane to the 18th green. You know, for the past 17 years, I just could not wait for the tournament to start. And this year I wouldn't care if the tournament never started. Rory McIlroy laughed as he said it, sitting in the press room at Augusta National on a Tuesday afternoon in April 2026. He had just pulled up Magnolia Lane as the defending Masters champion. Green jacket in his closet, lifetime invitation in his pocket, and for the first time in nearly 2 decades, no weight on his shoulders. He had a decision to make when he arrived that day. The champion's parking lot was waiting for him, a perk reserved exclusively for past winners. But old habits die hard. It was weird, he recalled. I was pulling up Magnolia Lane and you get to the circle and I'm like, well, do I go and park way over at the players' parking lot because I'm not going to park in the champion's parking lot? Then he saw them, the past champions having cocktails on the balcony, looking down at the arriving guests. I'm like, I don't want to valet and get out because they are going to see me and it's going to be weird. He laughed at the memory of the awkward moment from the year before. Thankfully, that was the last time that I needed to do that. For 17 years he had been the outsider looking in, the almost champion, the one who couldn't quite close at Augusta. He watched the private champions' dinner from afar, feeling the sting of exclusion year after year. It's not great, he admitted of those years. I wish I was a part of it. Now he was. And the difference, he said, was night and day. I feel so much more relaxed. I know that I'm going to be coming back here for a lot of years, going to enjoy the perks that the champions get here. The perks include the champion's parking lot, the champion's dinner, and a lifetime exemption into the Masters. But for McIlroy, the real perk was something deeper, freedom. Freedom from the questions that had followed him for nearly 2 decades. Freedom from the narrative that defined his career. Freedom to simply enjoy the tournament he once dreaded. For the past 17 years, I just could not wait for the tournament to start. And this year I wouldn't care if the tournament never started, he repeated, smiling beneath the green jacket he had waited so long to earn. To understand why Rory McIlroy was so relaxed, you have to understand what he had carried. The 2011 collapse, a 4-shot lead gone in the final round with an 80. The years of near misses. The sense that Augusta National was cursed ground for him, a place where his best golf went to die. It is so nice to walk around the property or be out on the golf course and just not have that hanging over me, he said. The burden lifted the moment his final putt dropped in 2025. He beat Justin Rose in a playoff to claim his first green jacket and complete the career Grand Slam, joining Gene Sarazen, Ben Hogan, Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, and Tiger Woods as one of only 6 men to achieve it. But after the victory, McIlroy realized something unexpected. The destination wasn't a destination at all. It was just another stop on the journey. You think every time you achieve something or have success, you'll be happy, but then the goalposts move and they just keep nudging a little bit further and further out of reach, he said. I think what I've realized is if you can just really find enjoyment in the journey, that's the big thing. Because honestly, I felt like the career Grand Slam was my destination and I got there and then I realized it wasn't the destination. The shift in mindset was obvious as he prepared for 2026. No frantic last-minute scramble. No desperate search for answers. Just quiet confidence. I've been working on the same things I always work on, but there's a calmness now that wasn't there before. I know what I'm capable of. I've proven it. Now it's just about going out and doing it again. The biggest challenge, he admitted, was not letting complacency set in. When you've achieved something you've been chasing for so long, it's easy to take your foot off the gas. I can't do that. I won't do that. Then came Tuesday night, the champions' dinner. One of golf's most sacred traditions. Past winners gathered around a single table. Rory McIlroy, as host, had spent months thinking about it. I've thought about it a lot, he said. Honestly, I've probably thought about that, the speech, more than the food. The menu he chose was personal, thoughtful, and reportedly the most expensive in champions' dinner history, around £250 per head. It reflected his Northern Irish roots without going overboard. He wanted everyone to enjoy it, including himself. Appetizers. A peach and ricotta flatbread, balsamic, hot honey, basil. A nod to Georgia. A rock shrimp tempura with creamy spicy sauce, a crowd pleaser. A bacon-wrapped date stuffed with goat cheese and almonds, his mother Rose's specialty. A grilled elk sliders with caramelized onion jam and roasted garlic aioli. First course, yellowfin tuna carpaccio with foie gras, toasted baguette, and chives. Main course, choice of Wagyu filet mignon or seared salmon, served with traditional Irish champ, a childhood favorite, sautéed Brussels sprouts, glazed carrots with brown butter, and crispy Vidalia onion rings. Dessert, sticky toffee pudding with vanilla ice cream and warm toffee sauce. Wines, a 2015 Salon Brut Champagne, a 2022 Domaine Leaflave Baited Montrachet, and a 1990 Chateau Lafite Rothschild from Puyallup. McIlroy sat near the head of the table, flanked by Jack Nicklaus and Gary Player. He spoke about his 2011 collapse, the years of frustration, and the joy of finally breaking through. He told them he appreciated the entire journey, the good and the bad. The room was filled with legends. Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson were absent, but McIlroy hoped they would join in future years. The night ended with a toast from Nicklaus himself. McIlroy fought back tears. "That's a moment I'll never forget. Jack Nicklaus toasting me? That's something I never could have imagined." The 2026 Masters got underway. Rory McIlroy teed it up on Thursday as the defending champion, paired with Cameron Young and Mason Howell. The galleries were thick, the roars loud, but he looked unfazed. His record since the breakthrough? Solid. In 2025 he had already defended once in a sense of momentum, but now he was chasing back-to-back titles, something only Jack Nicklaus, Nick Faldo, and Tiger Woods had done in the modern era. He wasn't the betting favorite, Scottie Scheffler was, but the narrative had completely shifted. No more when will he win the Masters. No more can he complete the Grand Slam. The only question left was, what does Rory do from here? "I just think that everything here is a little more predictable," he said of Augusta. "You know the golf course pretty much. I just think the more experience you have around this golf course, the better it is." He hoped he still had 10 good shots left at winning more green jackets. On Sunday, April 12, 2026, Rory McIlroy delivered. In a thrilling final round, he held off a charging field, including a late push from Scottie Scheffler, to win by one shot. He shot a clutch 71, birded key holes through Amen Corner when it mattered most, and walked off the 18th green as a back-to-back Masters champion. He became only the 4th player in history to successfully defend the title. He hugged his daughter Poppy on the green for the 2nd straight year. The green jacket was his again. The burden that once defined him was gone for good. Afterward, the golf world processed what it all meant. Rory McIlroy had spent 18 years in the spotlight, boy wonder, major champion, the man who couldn't finish, the man who finally did. Through it all he stayed himself. At 36, with his best golf still ahead, he was embracing the journey rather than fixating on the destination. "Honestly, I felt like the career Grand Slam was my destination. And I got there, and then I realized it wasn't the destination. The man who once couldn't wait for the tournament to start now wouldn't have minded if it never began, because he had already arrived. He belongs. The green jacket is in his closet. The champion's parking lot is his. And the only question left is what he does next." This week at Augusta National, Rory McIlroy showed the world what it looks like when the weight finally lifts. The hunter became the champion, and the champion became free. The journey continues. But for the first time in 17 years, Rory McIlroy is walking it without that shadow behind him. And golf has never looked more fun.